Hello everybody, CLT here, bringing you guys my round 3 battle versus Jiggler, and this is for the CLT. This was a pretty long battle and pretty intense too. But anyway, yeah, looking at the teams, I was honestly really intimidated by his defensive core that he had. He also had, a good Starmie, help keep rocks off the field. And mainly his bishop was what really intimidated me, especially if I had the Lumberry, because it would be able to set up a +2 on my Amoonguss easily, and I wouldn't be able to put it to sleep. I wouldn't be able to do much of anything to it, and then a +2 Sucker Punch would basically KO my Lopunny. If it wasn't healthy enough, it KOs my Extra Drill. Iron Head KOs my Tyranitar. Sucker Punch does a ton of damage to my Rotom Wash. Also, if my Rotom Wash gets weak, if my Amoonguss gets weak, his knockoff would kill that off, and also Tornadoes kind of just dies to Sucker Punch. So yeah, that I was really afraid of that of the Bishop. So yeah. Anyway, enough of me talking. Let's actually get this battle started here. Anyway, leading off with my Tornado, since it's the best lead against pretty much his entire team, as he leads off with Conkeldurr, which is very good for me because if he wants to switch out or stay in, I do just get to fire off a Hurricane, and luckily enough I do not miss. Missing could have been a huge problem because I do not want to risk this Tornadoes right here. As the Bishop comes in, I don't want to risk Hurricane miss and Sucker Punch damage, any of that stuff, so I just go out into Tyranitar. I actually kind of sent this thing as Death Fodder just so I can get the sand up, and then I'll speed with my Extra Drill. But he sets up a Swords Dance, which was incredibly dangerous for my team because my team does not appreciate +2 Bishop. So I don't know, I'm not entirely sure why, but he just switches out into Skarmory as I get up my rocks. And I'm just going to go out into my Rotom since Tyranitar can't really touch Skarmory here. He could go on to Quagsire, so I decided to just go for the Will-O-Wisp. Getting a Will-O-Wisp on any of his 3 defensive Pokemon is, gonna help out a ton as this Venusaur comes in, which is really nice because Venusaur, of course, is Mega, doesn't have leftovers. Sandstorm is gonna do some damage, and then also Burn is gonna do some damage, so yeah, my main thing about his 3 defensive Pokemons are that I have to try to keep them low and then force them to switch out. That way, when they come in, I can 2-hit KO them. So that's kind of what planning on how I'm planning on taking his defensive core out. Also, Tornadoes can Hurricane them. But anyway, just gonna go and send in my Tornadoes right here. I didn't want to. I don't know, I didn't want to send it in, but at the same time I knew I could take a hit and then fire off a Hurricane, which is kind of what happens here. I decided to just U-turn out, get my HP back. Unfortunately, rocks are up on the field on my side, so that 33% I get back from Regenerator is going to turn to like 10-ish%. So Skarmory is in here. Of course, I'm going to U-turn out into my Rotom. Get some nice Volt Switch damage off on the Skarmory, and I got the Skarmory nice and low. So now I just go out into Tyranitar. Actually, I'm watching the replay and I actually do not know what I was thinking when I went into Tyranitar. The only thing that comes to mind is probably not wanting to take a Brave Bird or something from Skarmory. But yeah, just gonna switch out into Rotom right here since Tyranitar can't really do much against this Skarmory as he roars me out. Unfortunately, he roars me out into my Tornadoes right here, and I believe does the Skarmory have leftovers or Rocky Ham? I don't remember, but either way, whatever move I go for I will just end up dying to Life Orb. So I go for Hurricane. Unfortunately, I miss, and because of my Sandstorm, my Tornadoes goes down, and that right there is going to make this match a lot harder because now I really gotta make sure I have his 3 defensive Pokemon worn down. So anyway, Rotom just gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. He roars me out, I believe. I don't know. Not really sure. This battle's going by pretty fast, but Yeah, he does. Okay, so yeah, Starmie does have Rocky Helmet. I do burn it, so all his Brave Birds aren't gonna be doing anything to me at this point. And I don't really want to switch out, fearing a Brave Bird, honestly. So I kind of just set up a Swords Dance and kind of just, you know, make him, roar me out. Right here, do I Rapid Spin or just Iron Head? No, he switches out. Okay, yeah, I set up a Swords Dance. I wanted to just, you know, force him to roar me out, but you know, he does go into Wag's Eye. That was another possibility of something he could have done. So I just go for Earthquake. I also, you know, kind of go for Earthquake. I could have Rapid Spin, but I didn't want to take any Rocky Helmet damage on my Bisharp. Because on my Excadrill, because he still has Bisharp, and I want to try to, you know, take a Sucker Punch from it with Excadrill. So yeah, just gonna hard switch out into my Amoonguss right here. And you know, predicting him to, you know, be scared out and, you know, switch out into something else. I kind of just you know, go out into Rotom, trying to, you know, get a prediction on him, as he does just go out into his Venusaur. I should have probably got into my Lopunny actually. That way, you know, Fake Out, Return would be enough to take this thing out, because I do outspeed Rotom, but unfortunately I can't kill it just yet. And he is going to be able to get off a Synthesis. So yeah, had I actually gotten into Lopunny on his Venusaur switch there instead of Rotom, this Venusaur right here would probably just be dead. And you know, if he switched out to, you know, keep it alive, it would you know, be worn down and weak, which is, you know, what I need basically from his 3, you know, core Pokemon. So just gonna go for the high jump kick here, predicting a switch as he goes out into Starmie, which, you know, does resist it. I can't really stay in here, although I do just end up staying in to get off a return, which is incredibly dangerous, because, you know, Side Shock, Lopunny dies, and this game would have pretty much been over. But I believe, I don't know, I believe I was kind of expecting for Return to either take him out or him to recover, which he does end up doing. So I don't really have any good switch-ins for, you know, Scald. So I decided to just go out into my Tyranitar. I could either, you know, try to get the rocks up right now, or, you know, Pursuit, hoping, you know, he'll switch or something. But no, he's a water type, so, you know, he of course is going to stay in. Does go for Scald. I believe it burns. No, his Scald does not burn, and I'm kind of really low right now at the point where, you know, I'm like really low right now. We're at the point of another Scald will just finish me off anyway. So yeah, he's just recovering. I'm just gonna keep going for Pursuit. I believe I get a critical on one of these Pursuits. Yeah, it's on this one. He recovers back up, getting himself back up to full as I go for another Pursuit. Basically just sacrificing my Tyranitar and trying to keep this Starmie as weak as possible for another Pokemon on my team to take him out. But yeah, I'm just gonna switch out since he's kind of just recovering. I'm gonna go out into my Rotom. I was sacrificing my Tyranitar, but I do also want to keep Tyranitar around for the Sandstorm, because the Sandstorm will, you know, increase the speed of my Excadrill, and you know, that increased speed will help me outspeed Starmie with Excadrill. So yeah, Starmie is just gonna Rapid Spin. Did it get rid of any rocks? I'm not sure, but yeah, he just Rapid Spin. I'm gonna Volt Switch, get nice damage off on it, and then, you know, weaken it. Lopunny will be able to pressure it with Fake Out, and, you know, then outspeed it. So thankfully, you know, he does stay in. I am able to get off the Fake Out, and right here I actually misclicked, and I freaking panicked when I did this. I meant to go for Return, but I accidentally went for High Jump Kick. But thankfully enough, I don't miss, and I'm able to take out the Skarmory. As right here his Venusaur comes in. His Venusaur being at a good amount of health, I can't, you know, hit it with Return and kill it, and I don't want to, you know, be put to sleep or take damage on my Lopunny. So I am just going to go out into my Tyranitar, since it will also help at negating his Synthesis, since, you know, Synthesis won't recover you as much as it would if you're like in just normal weather. So yeah, that was kind of a double thing with Tyranitar there. Weakening his healing abilities, and, you know, also getting up the Sandstorm plus Burn, bringing this Venusaur really down now. So I can just go out into my Snowflake right here and click Earthquake, and hopefully this should barely be enough to kill, which it is. So now Venusaur is out of the way, and I was really happy when I finally managed to get that Venusaur out of the way, because that just made this battle a whole lot easier. His threats on his side are still that what's it called, the Bisharp. That thing is still a huge threat to me. So, you know, it's not completely over, and, you know, he still has these two defensive Pokemons that, you know, he can use to bring out the Bisharp. So, yeah. Skarmory comes in on my Spore. I was kind of expecting... I kind of wanted him to either stay in or go out into Bisharp, because if I could put the Bisharp to sleep, that would just be big. So, yeah. Oh, okay, right here, he roars me out, and... I was like, yes, if he roars me into my Lopunny, I can fake out high jump kick this Skarmory and the game would be over. So right here, I decided to go back out into Rotom, and he was either gonna roost or roar, and this time he does end up just roosting. But yeah, that roar play was actually pretty dangerous for him, because, you know, had he roared me out into, you know, my what's it called, my Lopunny, this Skarmory would kind of just be dead right now, because him going for roar would mean he doesn't go for roost. He'd be, you know, weak, and I can, you know, fake out or high jump like on the Skarmory. So yeah, that was kind of just an interesting moment right there. I was like, yes, please go send me out into Lopunny, but he actually sends me out into the worst thing, which is my Amoonguss. But not too big of a deal. He is gonna go out into the Bisharp right there on my Volt Switch. And I decided to just go into Lopunny because he's not at +2, so his Sucker Punch should not kill me, especially since I resist. And he does make a pretty good play right here. Goes out into Skarmory, sacrifices it, but he is able to get off the Rocky Helmet damage. And, you know, that's just gonna help out his Bisharp in, you know, taking down my Lopunny. So yeah, unfortunately his Skarmory is down. And now my Amoonguss kind of just goes into town, or just kind of goes to town on his last two Pokemon. The only thing that can stop Amoonguss would be if his Bisharp sets up a Swords Dance and, you know, knock off, you know, would probably kill Amoonguss, even though mine is like really bulky. But yeah, you know, just going for Will-O-Wisp, trying to burn this Quagsire. Like, my Rotom is not really all that useful right now. It gets outsped by Bisharp. So, like, really the only thing I want to do with my Rotom is get out Burn Off on Quagsire to, you know, help keep it lowered for, you know, my Lopunny and, you know, all my other pokes. He does recover as my Rotom finally goes down. I will just be able to bring out my Amoonguss. The first turn with my Amoonguss out, I'm just going to go for a Spore, just in case he wants to switch out into his Bisharp. Scald shouldn't do too much damage to me. I mean, it can't burn me, but, you know, just playing it safe, because if I go for Giga Drain and he brings out his Amoonguss, and his Amoonguss has a Lumberry, then that could be incredibly dangerous, because then, you know, he'd be able to get set up a Sword Sense, and I kind of just want to try not let that happen, but he does stay in. And, you know, since he's burned, I can't put him to sleep. Scald me, doesn't burn me, and I just go for the Giga Drain and take down the Quagsire. So now his Bisharp is in the field. I'm just going to go for a Spore. And thankfully, he does not have a Lumberry, and he also did not set up with a Sword Stance. So, yeah, at this point, the game is pretty much over. Trying to think right here. Okay, yeah, his Bisharp is asleep. And he gets really lucky right here and gets the first turn wake, and a neutral or like a +0 Sucker Punch does actually take down my Extra Drill, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, gonna bring in the Lopunny just to get the fake out, and then I'm just gonna switch out back into my Amoonguss, since he would presumably go for Sucker Punch, just because if he doesn't go for Sucker Punch, then my Lopunny would just outspeed and kill it. So yeah, that was a pretty safe play right there, as now he sets up a Sword Sense. However, you know, he doesn't have a Lumberry, so I am able to just put him to sleep. And kind of afraid of him getting really lucky again with the first turn wake from sleep. I'm just going to stay in with my Amoonguss, and basically my game plan is just going to be to get off as much damage on this Bisharp as possible, so that my Lopunny, if my Amoonguss gets knocked down, my Lopunny doesn't have to worry about Sucker Punching. Should be able to finish off with the Fake Out, but it's not the case. I am able to just finish off the Bisharp with Giga Drains. Good game to my opponent. Very well played, especially where he knocked out my tornadoes, because he brought in the Skarmory on the U-turn and then he roared it out to pretty much just finish it off. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Hopefully I can keep on going far in the CLT so I can keep bringing more amazing matches like this one. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, later folks.